Hey y'all, what's up? a.k.a. here, and today I'm back with another review. And this time I'm reviewing the one and only Good Kid, M.A.A.d by Kendrick Lamar. Now, like I said in the Section 80 video, I am not going to explain who Kendrick Lamar is. I kind of feel like you probably already know who he is, so I'm kind of just going to just explain what was the discourse with Kendrick Lamar around this time when this came out. So, around the time that this came out, Section 80 was already kind of revered as like a pretty great album with some flaws. People thought it was good, but kind of people were just all seeing like, okay, what is this dude gonna do next? And lo and behold, he drops one of the best hip hop albums of the decade, with Good Kid, M.A.A.d, which it's usually either Good Kid, M.A.A.d or To Pimp a Butterfly. They kind of get put into the same category. These are both very amazing albums. And when this released, it basically blew up. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved the concept. There's so many bangers on it, so many club bangers, so many sad bangers, so many just bangers in general. But overall, just a really good overarching story. And let's get into the overarching story. With the song Sherane, a.k.a. Master Splinter's Daughter. Very freaking interesting album. Very interesting album. I mean, very interesting song to open up with. So this song kind of talks about Kendrick Lamar being a teen and being at this party and falling in lust, not in love, but in lust with this girl. And basically he's getting like roped into with the girl and everything. And but near the end of the song, it kind of just abruptly ends, and it ends where he pulls up to the girl's house, and he kind of gets ambushed. Now, already something was kind of fishy with this in the first place. He kind of mentioned throughout the song that the girl was, gang affiliated, and overall that basically she was setting him up, and lo and behold, she was setting him up. And they kind of cut off the jumping scene that you would think will come next, right off with like a little kind of like skit section where we have Kendrick's mom kind of being like, "Hey Kendrick, when are you gonna bring my van back? What is happening? Why are you having my van and you're not bringing it back?" And this is like a constant thing throughout the album that kind of like wraps up and wraps it up all in this nice bow, makes the story of the album seem very like seems like it has a lot of cohesion, which it does have a lot of cohesion, and it makes it seem like an actual story, an actual like more like a movie. I see more like a movie. Then we go to Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe after the skit on Sherane, a.k.a. Master Miller's daughter. We have Kendrick's dad asking for some dominoes and everything. And his mom is like, "Hey, he's not even on the phone." And then he's just like, "I don't care. I want my dominoes back." And this is like a really kind of funny little skit. And we have this part where it's just like, "Hey, you know what? I'm just chilling. Don't kill my motherfucking vibe." And it goes right into one of the very few, very, very good singles off this album, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. And man, this is such a good song. I don't care about anything type of song. Such a chill track. I love the little like bridge section near the end where you have Anna Wise and Kendrick being on the same rapping and like rapping / singing at the same time. And the whole freaking like the whole point of the song is being like, "Hey, don't kill my vibe. I'm doing me." And it's just an overall just chill track. Very kind of philosophical at points too. Then we go to Backseat Freestyle. And this one on its own seems kind of derivative. Seems kind of like a generic trap banger. But it's actually not. It has a lot more layers to it than you might think. Not only is the song very playful, it's very funny. It obviously shows a very teenage and immature Kendrick. It also just like fits perfectly into the album. With the skit off of Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, we have one of Kendrick's, homies at the time being like, "Hey, Kendrick, come on, I have a pack of blacks and a beat CD. Let's get your freestyle ready." And, we got Backseat Freestyle. perfect transition, and kind of shows the dynamic in the relationship that he has with these friends that he has, and how these will affect Kendrick and the people around him, and the story as a whole in the album in the future. Which, lo and behold, we see the art of peer pressure. And this song is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It talks about Kendrick Lamar being peer pressured into doing all this bad stuff, like doing drugs, stealing, straight up robbing a house, killing people. But he's with the homies, so it's all right. And the way that he instrumentally does this, and the way that he does the storytelling, making it sound so intense and personal, in front of your face, it sounds like you're actually there with him doing all this bad stuff. That's what makes it such a good track. You also not only have that, but also have like the very cool just beat switches. First, you have like this very cloud, neo soulish type of section to the beginning, and it has this very dramatic and grim beat switch with like these very low humming bass type of synths with like this constant percussion and ta ta ta, just to elevate the hurriness and the worriness and the just overall just I don't even, like the overall like badness of the situation, and how this peer pressure is putting on them. And then after that, we have a song that actually directly contrasted the art of peer pressure with Money Trees. And with Money Trees, I think this is a very interesting track. First of all, this is like one of the best tracks on the album. No doubt. It's so good. And the reason why is because not only musically, but also lyrically. I think musically, first of all, it is so soulful. Apparently, it's almost a beach house song. I don't listen to much beach house. I listen to one album from them. But whatever song it is, it must be very good because I love this sample. It's so like soulful, and it's so cloud-like. It feels like you're floating while listening to the song. And like I said, it's a complete contrast to the art of peer pressure. And I just like a lot of the themes on here, like of freaking shootings. First of all, there's the chorus. Hey, are you the one in the gun, the one in front of the gun this forever? I love that part. I love that part because it might be saying, hey, the one who's behind the gun is respected, but the life that the one who was in front of the gun that got shot lives forever, and it doesn't die. Just all as a whole, the symbolism of money trees, shading them as a way of, basically being there, kind of like they will want money trees instead of anything else, being there to shade them, and how it just revolves around them, and their environment so much, and around us in general. It's just very factual. And J-Rock comes on here with the killer verse. He actually really much kills it. He does better than Kendrick. But I think the reason why he kind of does better than Kendrick is that Kendrick kind of just toned it down a little. But it doesn't matter. Kendrick and J-Rock, incredible chemistry. Oh, also Anna Wise. I don't know why I forgot to talk about Anna Wise. That amazing freaking refrain part, like refrain bridge part into J-Rock's verse is incredible. Then we go to Poetic Justice. This one is probably the most commercially accessible song on here, which is kind of weird to say considering there's a lot of commercially accessible songs on here, like Bitch Don't Come Out Vibe and Swimming Pools, and even other songs like Good Kid, Mad City, and maybe even Money Trees. Poetic Justice is definitely the most commercial one. It even has features from Drake. It even has a feature from Drake. From all people. And this kind of talks about and like Sherane. How can you see how he doesn't really know if he can trust this girl, and he even says in the song, hey, if a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? Which is very much facts. You probably wouldn't trust it. And Drake again comes on here with not a bad verse either. He kind of just brings his own style, and he this is like very early Drake where he's actually like rapping. And I like how his verse kind of pertains to the theme of the song. I think this is probably the most underrated track. Okay, second probably the second most underrated track on here. Then we go to Good Kid. And we have like this really good, nice desert-like kind of jazz sample with Pharrell on top. doing these like really nice chorus things. Mass hallucination, baby. This is your station, baby. Illocation is, it's very good. It's just very good. I didn't even know it was Pharrell Williams until I watched like a video of someone reacting to it, and they were on the Genius site, and it said Pharrell Williams. But overall, this is just like such a relevant song in so many ways, not only in the Blood and Crips part, but like in literally about the part about the police violence, which literally happened in 2020 with George Floyd, and the fact that it's so relevant, that's so relevant even now is like kind of crazy. Then we go to Mad City. And this is a complete contrast from Good Kid. Good Kid is slow, it takes its time, and it develops. Yeah, it develops. Mad City is fast, it's in your face, it's hard, and it does not let up. With a really good feature from West Coast veteran MC8. And MC8 comes on here really acting like that he's been a veteran. Granted, he's a veteran in this gangster lifestyle that Kendrick is portraying in this album. And he does it well. He really does his verse well. I like how he really sounds like a veteran on this part. And of course, Kendrick just absolutely kills. On the first part, he has all these he just has really good storytelling, all this good alliteration. He has like this really good alliteration with the Isley brothers. Then on the second part, we have him just going a lot more tragic. It's a lot more tragic, and we can see him talking about how he has skeletons in his closet and he's killed people. Like, hey, would you believe me if I killed a person at 16? You're like, oh my gosh, it sounds crazy. And even at the part where he says Compton's human sacrifice. Like, it's just like crazy. Then we go again to another contrast song with Swimming, and this one talks about the poisons and kind of again like the art of peer pressure. Like, he's getting like pushed into this mindset of like drinking liquor basically to push away all your problems and everything. And it sounds like a party banger, but it's actually not. It's actually very sad. And it shows like how much we've kind of like let alcohol and other things, try to heal us, even though we should be learning how to heal ourselves, and we should learn to be having fun in different ways. You know what I mean? I'm not against alcohol. I'm just saying I think he just portrays this type of mindset that he was around very well. Then we go to Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, and man, this one is just absolutely sad. On the first part, Sing About Me, we have 3 different point of views. We have, in the skit before, I forgot to mention this, on the skit before after swimming pools, we have a skit where one of Kendrick's homies, like brothers, like dies. And it's very, of course, sad and everything. He's very sad, he's very mad, and it goes perfectly into Sing About Me. And we have that verse. We basically have that verse where he's saying like where he was talking of the story. He's talking in the point of view of Dave, who got shot. Basically near the end, basically talks about, hey, he basically there's like appreciation to Kendrick and everything. And near the end of the verse, you hear like these gunshots, and he's like, hey, but I hope before my album drops. And it's just like it's very sad. And then we go to second point of view, which is the sister of Keisha from Keisha's song, and how she's basically mad at Kendrick for telling her sister's story, and she's like, hey, I didn't want you to do that and everything. She has like this very negative mindset of taking advantage of men and everything, and it's just a very sad song. It's very sad part of the song, even to the part where she goes like, hey, I'll never fade away, I'll never fade away, I'll never fade away, and she ends up fading away. It's a very sad part of the song. Then we go to Kendrick kind of telling his own side of both stories. He sympathizes with both sides, and he's like, hey, when I die, I hope somebody makes like a thing for me. And man, it's just like overall the first part of this track is like very much just very sad. Then we go to I'm Dying of Thirst. And this one, starts off with a skit basically about them just being mad of killing people, of killing their own kind. They want, Kendrick, he wants to get out of this lifestyle and mindset, and he's saying, I'm dying of thirst, and I just want to get out of this environment. It's very heartbreaking and again tragic, because you can see his desperation, you can hear his desperation when he says the lyrics. When he says the lyrics. Then at the end of the song, we have another skit, or it's like this old lady or somebody's grandma, I don't know, but it's like this old lady who is saying, and there's like, you guys have so much hatred and everything, you guys need God in your life, and they say this sermon that basically kind of like reborns them in a way, which obviously is a very simplified version of what actually happened. But it kind of rebirths them, and like they start off anew, and then it's just like, and then she's like, well, now it's time to start of your real life, your actual life, and then it goes directly into real, and it kind of just talks about Kendrick at this time, feeling like himself, feeling like he's actually himself, and I love this track. NOYs does a really good job, just hanging out on here and like doing the I'm real, you're real. It definitely kind of drags on, but you can't say when we got to this part of the track you kind of teared up, because you're like, man, he's come a long way from everything up until now and everything. You can really feel like this is like the end of the story. And I love the parts at the end where it's like his mom and his dad just like trying to like toughen them back up, like bring it back up, like, hey, I heard about your dog and everything, about your friend. I'm sorry. And honestly, I'm not worried. I like how the mom was like, I'm not worried. I'm not even worried about the van anymore. It is what it is. It just ends off so well. Then we go to Compton, the final track, and this is like the kind of like the ending credits of the scene of like this whole basically short film, was like it says on the album cover. It kind of just like the ending credits. It talks about Compton as a whole, NWA, Tupac, freaking Aaliyah, and everything. It's just like an overall tribute to Compton. And even after all of this, even after everything that he's been through with this city, he still loves and represents his city. And even has a feature with Dr. Dre on it. Perfect. Overall, yeah, this is this is so good. Such a good story. Such a good way to wrap up this story. Such a good way to tell about his story in Compton and how it has affected him and affected other people within his community. And overall, just like very good. Only complaint is that I don't know. I just don't think it hits as hard as his earlier, as like the next album right after it. But overall, very good album. Highly recommended. You already know this is a strong 9.5. This is not a 10. The length looks like it's a 10, but no, it's a strong 9.5. Honestly, not a bad track. Only obviously like my least favorite track is Real, but it's not a bad track. I still like it. So yeah, strong 9.5. Definitely listen to it, and see you on the next video.